Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
Single best idea. And one of the great single best ideas we have is we pay attention to people from decades back who get it right, sometimes get it wrong, but more often than not give us the benefit of experience. Chuck Clough is a legend. He's out of New England. He's worked for Old Colonial Management. There's a name from the past in Boston. Iconic at Merrill Lynch. There's no other way to put it. Huge influence within equity strategy and having the courage to be in the market. He's a bull. We spoke to Chuck Clough today, and of course, he went back to one of his core theories, study demographics.
Let's look at the events that created 40 years of declining interest rates and declining inflation. And of course, that was interrupted by COVID and the tremendous government response to that. But those three factors were, one, demographics. As people age, they get older. We've seen that in Japan for 30 years, and we started seeing that in Europe in the early teens, and now we're seeing it in the United States, where we are seeing the baby boomers retire. And once you retire, you stop spending. You don't buy houses. You don't buy cars. So that's one of the reasons why we think we're beginning to see a net savings balance in the household sector. And of course, that'll only pick up as the baby boomers really do retire. And the second thing, of course, is where balance sheets are. Private debt is still 150% of GDP. And that means as interest rates do go up, it slows down spending. We're seeing that in credit cards. And then thirdly, there's technology, which of course is booming today. It's the one investment cycle we have. You put those three things together, they only become more intense as we go through the rest of the decade. So I wouldn't give up on financial assets yet.
Chuck Clough, optimistic, and of course mentioning technology there as well. What a joy yesterday. Thank you for the many comments worldwide on our conversation, too brief, with Simon Johnson of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. An exciting day yesterday for MIT in Chicago, looking at the technology overlay, the institutional overlay of our economy and of our economics. We followed that up today with someone with operational research excellence from MIT. Katy Kaminski is just wonderful about the market, the trends that are out there. She says it's very hard right now, particularly in fixed income, to make trend investments. We got into a lot of the nuances of that. But near the end of our conversation, I noticed that Katy Kaminski teaches at Sloan. I asked her about Simon Johnson. I asked her about the air at Sloan at MIT.
I am so excited, and you may not know this, but I actually spent 10 years of my career in Sweden, so where they kind of also do the Nobel Prize, and it's just such an amazing place where people are really changing the world, and MIT. For me, just seeing that, we had the JOIN conference was at MIT last week, Journal of Investment Management, and we had two of our junior quants there, and they actually saw Johnson speak before this weekend. So this is it's a very prideful moment for us.
Katy Kaminski, too short a conversation on her Sloan School at MIT. We're going to take a sabbatical here on Single Best Idea over the next summer days. I've got a dash to Rome and back, the obligatory Roman wedding. I'm threatening to drive a Vespa. We'll see if we can work that out, where we do a photo shoot where they'll go, "You're no Greg Peck." But we will see on that. What we can tell you is these are exciting times into the election. Of course, our conversation with the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom yesterday at Bloomberg, a conversation today with presidential candidate Donald Trump. We'll have much more on that on Balance of Power. We're out on YouTube. Subscribe to Bloomberg Podcasts at YouTube on your commute, Android Auto. Thank you for the note today on Android Auto, bigger than I thought, on Apple CarPlay as well, and of course in Washington, New York, and Boston. On YouTube Podcasts, on Apple Podcasts. This is Single Best Idea.